So in the past, we've looked at exponential functions that have a base that was the irrational number e. So maybe you remember the equation e, which represented the number of people infected with HIV. Since 1990 was given to us as h was equal to 2.3 million people times e raised to the 0.1343 to the t power. So this is an example of an exponential function that is in what we call base e, where e is that irrational number. It's kind of like pi, but the value of e is approximately 2.178, and it goes on and on and on. So if we had an equation like this one, and let's say we want to know solve for t, which is an exponent. So let's say we want to solve for t when so let's say we want to know at what year will the number of people infected with HIV increase to 3 million people, then we can substitute 3 in for h. And then here we have an exponential function where we want to solve for t, and t is the exponent. So what methods do we have to solve for that exponent? And the answer is we're going to end up using the natural logarithm. So the natural logarithm is the inverse of an exponential function that is in base e. And the definition is very similar to the definition that we saw for common log. But for common log, we use log when we're in base 10, and we use natural log, which is ln, when you're in base e. So the definition says this. It says, if you take the natural log of some number y, it's going to equal x, where x is the power you raise e to, okay, so x is the power you raise e to, um, and that is what it means to take the natural log of some number. Okay, so the natural log of some number gives you the power you would raise e to get that particular number. So let's apply this by converting back and forth between exponential functions or exponential form and natural logarithmic form. Okay, so here we've got a couple of examples, and without using our calculator, let's take a look at the logarithmic equation on the left, and hopefully you can see that they're all kind of got an e in it in some way or form. But what we have on the left here is the natural log. So we want to rewrite this in exponential form and then solve for x. So here, if you take the natural log of e, it equals x. By definition, that means that the number x, so this x, is the power that you would raise e to get e, which is what you took the natural log of, okay? So here, you can think of this as e to the first power. So this is e to the first power. So that means when you take the natural log of e, the natural log of e actually equals 1. So x equals 1. Okay, let's consider this second example. What is the natural log of 1 over e equal to? Well, it's equal to x. So when you take the natural log of 1 over e, right, the x that you get is the power you raise e to get that 1 over e. We can rewrite 1 over e as e to the negative 1 power. So that means e to the x is equal to e to the negative 1. So the natural log of 1 over e is equal to negative 1. Okay, let's consider example 3. What is the natural log of the square root of e equal to? Well, it equals x. So when you take the natural log of the square root of e, right, the x that you get is the power you would raise e to get that number square root of e. And we can rewrite the square root of e as e raised to the 1/2. So this tells me that e to the x is equivalent to e to the 1/2, so x is equal to 1/2. So the natural log of the square root of e is equal to 1/2. And then let's take a look at this last problem. What is the natural log of 1? So the natural log of 1 gives you some x, where x is the power you would raise e to get 1. So remember that if we raise any number to the 0 power, any number to the 0 power is going to equal 1. So here x is equal to 0. So I'll show you how to put this into your calculator. How do we type in natural log of e, natural log of 1? And you could do the same for examples 1 and 2 here on the calculator to get solutions like negative 1, 1/2, and 0. Here. Okay, so on your calculator, the natural log button is the ln button right below the log button, which is the common log button. So if I want to double check that the natural log of the square root of e is 1/2 or zero point 0.5, you would just type in natural log. So you type this button, natural log, and then you type in the square root. So second, and then that square root symbol there. And then e is this symbol up here. So to get that little blue E, you would press second, and then you would press that division symbol, and then press enter, and you'll see that you get a half. And we can do the same thing to double check and see what the natural log of 1 is. So again, on your calculator, you would just press the natural log button, and then press 1, and then press enter, and you'll see that it equals 0. So the natural log of 1 equals 0. So on your calculator,